Okay, ready, Jenny? Yes. Okay, welcome everyone. I'll just get started then, just raise your hand. Emma, welcome to Melbourne. Just talk about how you've been feeling the last few weeks.
Yeah, I've been feeling good. I think the last 10 days I've had a positive block of training. Coming back on the court and adapting to the conditions here has been good for me. I mean, the last 2 weeks ago, I'd say, like, I had to pull out of Auckland because I just wasn't ready. I had a bit of a niggle that happened pretty randomly and I couldn't prevent it. But now I feel good and I feel ready to give it my best here.
Okay, who'd like to get us started? Oh, Elle, yeah.
Hi Emma, can you just talk a little bit more about the back issue and also how frustrating was it to have to go into a new season sort of feeling a little bit maybe behind where you wanted to be?
Yeah, I mean, I had a really good block of training in London before Billie Jean King Cup and after the tie, pretty much going straight back into it. And I just, one morning was warming up and, bent over and to tie my laces and I just had a spasm and that was it really. And it took a while to clear. I've had them before and they've usually settled within a few days, but this one, niggled for a couple weeks and I had to, miss quite a bit of training before I left. Wasn't able to play Auckland, but now I'm feeling good and I feel like I can, give it my best here and, do the good training and continue with that.
Okay, Neil?
Is there a concern you're a little bit ring rusty coming in because you haven't played a match for so long? That was a bit of an issue going into the US Open. And how have you tried to get over that by compensating that in the build-up?
Yeah, I think the difference between this and US Open is before US Open, I hadn't actually trained at all really. But I've been putting in, really good work. And this week I've been playing sets with, top players and feeling like I'm holding my own more than okay in those instances and practices. So I feel pretty good with my game and I'm looking forward to putting it on the match court.
Next one, just raise your hand. Yeah, okay. James.
There's been a lot of talk and it's part of the job, I guess, is anti-doping, getting tested, being careful of what you put in your body. Can you just talk a bit about the sort of stress or maybe the concern, if you ever have them, about making sure you know exactly what you're eating all the time and all the sups you're taking and the rest of it? Does it ever worry you that you might, just accidentally, without even knowing, get things?
Yeah, I would say all of us are probably quite sensitive to what we take on board, what we use. I mean, yesterday, for example, I got really badly bitten by, I don't know what, like ants, mosquitoes, something. And I'm allergic, I guess. So they flared up and swelled up really a lot. And, someone was giving me this antiseptic spray and natural to try and ease the bites, but I didn't want to take it, I didn't want to spray it, so I was just left there with my swollen ankle and hand, and I was like, I'm just going to tough it out because I don't want to risk it. So it's obviously a concern on our mind, but we're all in the same boat, and I think it's just how we manage as best as we can the controllables. And if something out of our control happens, then it's going to be a bit of a struggle to try and prove.
I'll go Charlie and then Kath. Charlie.
How the first few weeks of your talk have been, if there's anything that you've picked up on or appreciated that you've been working on together.
Yeah, I think having him in my camp has been a really good addition. I think he's helped me a lot just in terms of microdosing, bits of fitness here and there throughout the day, and tapering, managing my loads, because I'm someone who's always going to want to push more and train more and do more. So sometimes actually having him to adapt the exercises or pull me back has been helpful. And I think he's also a really committed person and someone who is quite reliable as well. So every day I know that, there's not really going to be any major surprises that are coming my way. And he's just been obviously with a lot of experienced and top players. So having that and his belief and confidence in me has helped a lot.
Okay, Kath.
I wanted to ask about the work with Yutaka as well and kind of what you expect obviously it's a long-term project with him in terms of building a body physically. I wondered what you thought the timeline was in terms of getting to where you wanted to be in those terms, and whether you already feel different at all from the work you've already done with him?
Yeah, I think building a body, I think that's a continuous process. I think it's not something that you necessarily put a timeline on, like, okay, in a year I'm going to be a top athlete. You know, it's even when you're a top athlete, there's always things you can do better. But I think I do already feel a difference when I step on the court. I feel like I'm quite reactive and explosive, and I think that stems from my warm-ups being, you know, not necessarily warm-ups, but they're more like a bit of a session, and I feel just ready to go when I'm on the court. And yeah, I think as for how long it's going to take, I'm not sure, but yeah, I trust his work and trust his judgment.
Okay, we'll go over here and then up the back. Yeah.
Hey, Jackson from Tennis Australia. You've competed at this tournament the last 2-3 years. I suppose what is probably your favourite moment, like being here, or like, you know, favourite memory coming to Melbourne and being part of the Auto?
I love playing in Australia, actually. I love playing down under. I think it's nice, you know, in London it's snowing, it's really cold, and we get to kind of escape the winter a little bit, get some winter sun. That actually makes a big difference to how I feel, I'd say. Like when you wake up in the morning or in the evenings, it's still light outside. It does, you know, put a twist and enhance my mood, I'd say. But as for playing in Australia, I think the people here are very funny. There's good humour, good banter, and it's somewhere that you can kind of dish it out as well and not be afraid. So I think just the whole thing, I feel very comfortable.
Okay, I think Simon, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. What did you make of your draw, and do you remember any of the prep you did for the same opponent at Wimbledon before she didn't play?
Yeah, I mean, it's very a tricky draw, of course. Being unseeded, you can play any top opponent, and you know, she's a player with a lot of experience. So I guess I'm coming in with the underdog mentality. I guess she's, you know, been in this situation many more times than I have, but I back myself to the hills. I feel like I'm in a good place with how I'm approaching my tennis, how I'm feeling on the court. And actually we were going to go through the match the morning of, and then it got cancelled at Wimbledon, so I haven't gone through that yet, but I will obviously in the next few days.
Any more? Elle?
Emma, you obviously didn't play nearly as many tournaments last year as most people, which therefore affects your ranking. I just wonder where do you think your ranking sort of would be had you played the same number of tournaments? Where do you feel like your tennis level sits?
Well, I feel like would've, should've, could've is just something that doesn't really exist in sport in general. But I know that whenever I play like any top opponent, I feel like with the way that I'm feeling on the practice court right now, I mean, I was practicing with top 10 players and feeling pretty good out there, and I think I can be a dangerous opponent for anyone, really. So I think you have to kind of have that belief as a player. It's not really worth it going on court if you don't believe you can win.
Okay, one more, Charlie.
On the fitness side, how that sort of ties in with the nutrition, and kind of, are there particular things, particular meals you always like to eat before, or like fueling during, like, and I know you always ask you about food.
Well, I love salmon. I love having salmon before and after. I have salmon like twice a day, which is it's great. Omega-3, good fats. But I think, you know, before matches, I keep it pretty simple with like plain rice and some protein. But I think the one thing that, you know, I've been working on is also, and Yutaka helping, has been just like intake, because obviously when we're training, and it's good to just have, you know, that constant reminder, like you need to kind of take fuel on board, because otherwise, you know, you can go through your whole day or your whole practice and, you know, you don't have what you need to sustain, like not just that day, but the whole week of training and recovery. So it's just been good to have him helping in all areas. Yeah. During, I usually stick to something like really fast release, some like gels or dried fruit or something.
All right, thank you very much, everyone.